Good day, beautiful soul family, and welcome back to On Another Level. And as I do this is, you know, it's about you going on another level, okay? And so I think this is a very delicious morsel. Okay, so I was running my errands, and Divine Spirit was showing me something, and it's something that Divine Spirit was showing me as I'm on my journey, and especially in praying. I was gonna do this beautiful reading earlier this morning, but let's just group it all together, shall we? So from early this morning, as I was in the midst of prayer, it's so beautiful, please. You know how they say, oh, you got to check out this shop, or you got to check out this restaurant, or you got to check out this movie. You've got to pray. The Hammer song is, you've got to pray just to make it today. But it's true. It's true. Because when I'm in the midst of prayer, oh my gosh. When I am in the midst of prayer, Divine Spirit shows me so much about me and this world. This reading, I'm going to call it Reflections, because it's in this big old pie called Reflections, which is this video. It's something for the beautiful soul family, and it's something for the hosts, which are aka karmics, right? And so when you go into prayer, that's that spiritual communion. That's that beautiful connection. Oh, there's nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it. Anything that needs to be shown about you, where you need to be accountable, is given to you. It's shown to you. It's one thing when somebody who's against you and they tell you something that may or may not be true. But when you go into prayer, hallelujah, when you go into prayer and Divine Spirit shows you, but shows you gently. Shows you how you came out of certain situations, how you were duped by certain people, how to still continue to forgive people but put them out of your life. Shows different things about you. Sometimes we go into situations and we are so naive. But when we come out totally different. But it's up to us. Are we going to learn from the lesson, glean the wisdom? Or are we going to keep on in that same vicious cycle? And so when I go into prayer, Divine Spirit is my refuge. And that's something that no one can take away. And to be in the midst of prayer and to come into that, beautiful soul family, I encourage you to go into prayer when you wake up in the morning. I encourage you to go into prayer. I encourage you to go in with self-love, self-care, self-nurture, because it's truly important. It is. As I was going on about the day in terms of reflections, is about, how am I reflecting Divine Spirit in the world? And as you continue to go within and you continue to pull out situations, reflect upon it, and saying, okay, these situations took place so that certain energies can be disintegrated. It's the caterpillar that is disintegrated as is in the midst of the covering of the chrysalis. But regardless, you come out as a beautiful butterfly. Butterflies are beautiful, but they are indeed strong. Flowers are beautiful, but they are strong. And so Divine Spirit is telling me about reflections. Beautiful soul family. When people come against you, they do readings and all that stuff. to find out what's going on in your life. Not so worried about themselves, but you. Karmics, this is what Divine Spirit gave me the okay to tell. When you are spending your money, or when, energy, when you are investing energy to find out what's going on in somebody else's life, this is what Divine Spirit is telling me to tell you. You really need to know what you're doing. And interesting enough, for those hosts, aka karmics, who are looking into other people's life, let me show you how deep this rabbit goes, or the rabbit hole, right? But let me show you how interesting this is, beautiful soul family. This is like a twofold message. A message like we're all in a classroom, but the message hits each person differently. So for the divine beings, let me help you understand something. When someone looks into your life and they do not like what they see, because it's about prosperity, it's about even just happiness and joy, peace and love, healing, have no fear. First and foremost, Divine Spirit does not give us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of love, a spirit of joy, a spirit of bravery, courageousness, and power. Okay? And no matter what happens, understand that certain things, certain ingredients come together to bring about such a beautiful meal. Okay, so do not worry. Continue to focus on Divine Spirit. Continue to bring forth that wonderful communion, always being restored, no matter what. And for the karmics, when you're looking into somebody's life and you're wishing harm on them, like this is your ritual, understand when you're looking, Divine Spirit is telling me that as you look into the water, you see a reflection. Okay? Whose reflection do you see? You see your own. Now this is really deep. And if this doesn't stop you from doing what you're doing and taking that moment and like the Ankh sign, bring it within, then I'm sorry. But then I'm not sorry. But I think you're at a loss, or you're refusing to see what's actually happening. We're made to reflect. And God just pours it down on me. Thank you, Divine Spirit. So we're made to reflect. All right. And so when you're doing, when you're seeking out for readers who are karmic, or who doesn't care, who doesn't have love, okay, and you're looking into somebody's life to see what's going on with somebody's life. And if you are a divine being, you more than likely know where I'm going with this. But if not, I think this will be a beautiful morsel. When a wicked person is looking into your life by the means of divination, by the means of oracles, tarot, an oracle is someone of wisdom. It's true. Okay? There are two different ways. There's good and bad to everything. There are prophets and prophetess, seers. Okay? Now, let's go back to this water. And you're looking into the water. Who do you see? Do you see somebody else? Or do you see you? What's so interesting, Divine Being, is that you may not see it. You may not feel it. but you have a covering over you. And that covering is water. I remember when I worked out one day, it was just so interesting. Someone had an interesting type of energy. And so I just imagined Divine Spirit was showing me water that was covering all around me. And so as this person was looking at me and competing for whatever reason, they were only competing against their own reflection. And wondering why. I was having a good time. I was just listening to some motivation. It was all about me. I wasn't worried about anybody else. Okay? So Divine Spirit is telling me this. When a wicked person does tarot card readings, whether they're paying for it or they're doing it themselves or they're getting their friends to do it, whatever, and they think they're looking at you, what you are looking at is yourself. And whenever you do harm against somebody else, oh, this person is about to be prosperous, let me go ahead and do a spell against that. Let me go ahead and block this. They're about to have a loving relationship. If it's a man, oh my goodness, they're about to get a lady in their life. If it's a woman, they're about to get a man in their life. Oh, I'm going to block that. I'm going to gossip. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Guess what? When you were looking in that reading, and this is why Beautiful Soul Family is so important to go to do that inner work, because what you're reflecting is Divine Spirit. So when they see your life, they're seeing Divine Spirit covering you. But what's so interesting is what's being reflected back to them as they're looking into your life is their life. So when they're like, oh, this person is about to be prosperous, oh, I'm going to block that. What you're blocking is you. And that's what you need to understand. See, because I'm covered. Those who seek the face of Divine Spirit, and it's looking every day. You're seeing the covering spiritually. You're seeing that covering. It's water. It's reflecting, right? But what you're looking at and what you're hating on is you. And so you may be looking, well, why isn't this happening? Why is this coming back? Because it's you coming against you. And that's what the covering does. Because before, I went through different stages. I was like, Divine Spirit, why are they allowed to see into my life? Why is this? Why is that? But Divine Spirit says, continue to focus on me. As you're focusing on me and you're making the necessary changes, you are reflecting me. See, Divine Spirit gives us all the air to breathe. I wonder, why does a wicked person even, do they stay awake? Do they not go to sleep? What source of air is this person breathing? Are they not breathing the same air? Are they not relying upon you, Divine Spirit, as I rely upon you? And this is why it's so beautiful. Great am I that is within you than that of which is in the world. I am covering you. I am protecting you. I am preserving you. And so when someone comes against you, divine beings, beautiful soul family, they're coming against Divine Spirit. This is why when it's time for them to be judged, right? It's like, well, I didn't do anything to you, God. I didn't do anything to you, Divine Spirit. And this is when Divine Spirit says, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Now, what's so interesting is that all of us, beautiful soul family, has, and my camera's acting up, but all of us has such beauty within us. Has beauty within us. If only we go within. There is no one perfect. We all have to go in and do that work. We all have to go in and do that work. And to the very bottom of the roots that is bringing up our ancestors, bringing us up, is divine spirit. So, stop looking into other people's life. I know it's difficult because this world, it's conditioned learning is about always looking outside of self, always looking at others and see how you can be like them, or how you can take their dream or whatever. But the thing about it, beautiful soul family, is that it really does go deep. As you're looking into my life or someone else's life, and you're looking at a reflection, you were looking, right? But when it comes to divine beings, maybe that's what it is. When it comes to divine beings that are looking to divine spirit, that have the covering of Jesus the Christ over them, and they have the Holy Spirit, what you are looking at is a reflection of what you could have. Blessings, joy, peace. But because you don't know yourself and you have not looked in to yourself, you don't realize what you are seeing. And that is the beautiful morsel. So, beautiful soul family, yes, you pray and certain pressures come upon you, but this is because seed time and harvest. Understand seed time and harvest. Understand that as you have prayed, it is already done. And so be gladful. You pray in spirit and truth. Be gladful. Know and understand the covering that is over you, that you are preserved. And though you may feel certain pains, there's certain things that must come away in order for you to truly complement the blessing that's on its way. It's a leveling up. Energy, vibrations increasing. But for the karmics, those who look into your life, those who look into someone else's life, and they didn't see the beauty that's within their own life, what you're looking at is a future that could be yours if you would only stop and go within. So this is what I have for you, beautiful soul family. Hopefully this recorded, because I think this is important. And have a wonderful day. Namaste.